Sup?
Sup,
Sup?
man?
Sup? Sup?
Uh,
What up?
Ah, you didn't get the memo. You should be bald, man. Almost balding.
Nope. I have everything intact with my testosterone levels, so no.
Well, that means we have too much testosterone and you don't, so fuck off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Although you have a kid, that means you're the only one here who has proof that he had sex once.
Yep. Twice, because I
Nice.
always fail at the first attempt. So,
twice.
Okay.
I don't know. I remember you said this joke one time after like a comedian with kids performed, and I don't know. I still think it's a funny joke. I told you should say he had sex once, and that means I had step sex for some reason. I Because he had like step kids. I thought it's funny, but yeah. Anyways, oh,
It was Ermek.
how do
Ermek,
how do you call fucking your stepdaughter? Yes, step sex. Or...
step sex. Also, what do you call it when you have sex on a staircase? Step sex. See? Anyways, people, 2025 with step sex jokes, everyone. Hello, everyone. We're back with Kirill Voronin again.
Yay!
Yeah, he was so excited last episode. He was like, bring me back on. And we're like, okay, man.
We totally did not bring him back because he's the only one with the account that can record.
Yeah.
I think I'm probably the only one who actually agreed. So
That too, to be honest.
What? What are you talking about, man? You were my first last choice. You know? How
that's
are you,
some.
man?
Okay, great. I mean, like we live at the times when whenever like the next year begins, you're like thinking, you don't think like, okay, I wish this year is better than the previous one. You're thinking like, okay, let this year be not as bad as the previous one, or not, at least not worse than the
Well,
previous years. So
well, we started with fires, California fires.
Oh.
You know?
is
So
that
maybe,
have you just made the confession for the court or something?
man, probably. It's what do you call it? It's my DPO for my visa to the US to get rejected
Mm.
as quick as possible.
Like,
You know you know this like this happened quite some time ago and it happened again that someone posted something about England, about Britain, whatever, and when they got to the airport, they sent them back. They're like, you
dude,
said some bad shit.
they're putting people in prison right now in Great Britain for literal
Yeah.
posts on social media.
This is
So
how you know that Russia's the because if you say something bad about Putin, you come to Russia, they're gonna take you to prison. Like they're gonna be like,
Yeah.
welcome, man. We have a room for you for free. Like
Uh,
although
Here's a
something
phone.
tells me that British prisons are much more comfortable than Russians.
Yeah, I love the thought that they give you your phone in prison in Russia and they tell you, no, post more. We need you to still sit here more.
oh,
Yeah. You have a
Uh,
quota. You have a quota to get hated. How many how many likes does it need for you to go to prison, by the way?
I think one would be
in
enough.
Russia, yeah.
One of the officer who's checking your thing, you know.
No, you just like you like your own comment and that's it. Oh, your own post or whatever, and that's enough.
Or the officer who arrests you actually was the one who liked your post.
Yeah, exactly. Like now I have grounds to keep him here.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
You know,
Uh,
I'm thinking right now. I was going through recordings of my stand-up sets yesterday,
yeah.
and I came across the joke where the punchline is Allahu Akbar, and I'm thinking like, should I post it on social media, like
Oh
just to
man.
get canceled?
Well, what is canceled in this day and age? You
Well, to
know?
be fair, yeah, true. But you know what? I make a disclaimer. Like every time I tell this joke, which was a total of three,
Yeah.
I make a
Like the
I
Trinity.
make it exactly, yeah. So I make a disclaimer. I after the audience goes like, "Ooh," I go like, "Don't worry, guys. I have a Jordanian friend who approved of this joke."
Of
That's
course.
that's it. That's enough.
Wait, you know someone else who's Jordanian? What the hell, man? Wait. Yeah. So why were you checking your stand-up, previous stand-up?
Mm, just to backtrack on my material, looking at some of the jokes that I haven't used in a while, maybe some that didn't work or worked not as good as I wanted to, and to go back to workshop those jokes as
Yeah.
well.
By the way, you guys are not like performing now, or are you performing?
This Sunday we will have a show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So there are no more protests.
There are, but it's just a routine right now at this point. It's like,
Okay.
it's like a daily tradition right now in Georgia. Let's go to the protests and stuff
What are
like that.
people protesting in Georgia?
They demand new elections. They say that these elections were not fair, and so even though the European Commissions actually acknowledged that the elections had violations, but they still approved these elections. But then European Union came out and they're like, no, we don't like the fact that the wrong party won, so
Yeah.
we will
Ah.
pass the declaration that does not approve of these elections and that doesn't acknowledge this illegitimate government that our own commissions actually acknowledged. So fuck you.
What?
That's
Wait,
what's
what time
happening.
start the protests?
40 days ago. It's been already 40 days every single day. 7 p.m. they usually gather. Like at the weekends, they can start like actually earlier. But yeah, it's really like a routine, It's like you and me, dude. We're calling each other and we're workshopping at 7 p.m.
Yeah.
Like, and they are
Yes,
like, okay,
yes.
we are workshopping, yeah, at the protests as well. So
I like how in Georgia they get their priorities. Like they go to work, go home, have dinner, then protest. Like, cause I know in Egypt when we had like the protests, people didn't give a fuck about work or anything. We had like a curfew at 11 p.m. and like people didn't. They just left everything and just went to protest. Just
but it's like, if to be serious here for a second, the reason why people do that and to no effect, basically, yeah, because they have never come across this kind of reaction from the government before. Like the 20 years previously, if people didn't like something that the government did, they would gather at massive protests and the government would backtrack on those laws. They'd be like, okay, we're changing this. Right now, the government simply ignores them. They simply ignore the people and they're like, okay, it doesn't work. So what do? We don't know. They don't know what to do with that. That's the issue.
I like the thought that the government is like, hey, there are people outside. Wow, they're celebrating New Year till now. That's great.
Yeah. Exactly.
the government's like noise cancellation on, please.
No, they say, what did they say? They say that, it's only like a couple of hundred people, a couple of hundred crazy men going outside, and we literally have like maybe 30,000 people coming out to protest like at the weekend, and stuff like that. But the government is like, we have bad eyesight, it's 200. It's like, my mom was an accountant. She taught me how to count.
1, 200, they like me, bye.
Or maybe they're just too stupid and they only can count to 200.
And I like that now, like the routine that you have is like basically Ramadan. Yeah, you guys like go to work, come back, eat, and then go out to the mosque. But in your case, it's go out to the square. Yeah,
go out to Rustaveli Avenue. Yep, and
they protest from sundown to sunrise or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
From dusk till dawn. Oh my god!
They wait for the prayer, and I love the thought that they're like, is there a mosque around?
I think there is actually.
Yeah, so the moment the
Yeah, I
mosque
think there
starts, they're
is.
like, "That's our call. Let's go."
It's actually very similar to Ramadan because based on the pictures that I saw, people usually go there. They go there after work, and they always bring food over there. We don't eat during the day, but hey, from 7 p.m. till 7 a.m. Yes, we do.
This is how Muslims are gonna take over the world by pseudo Ramadan, you know?
Exactly, yeah.
Suddenly,
Kirill,
like,
you're like a pretty into politics type of guy. Did you protest or you don't give a fuck?
Well, I mean, it's not that I don't give a fuck. I don't. I have this position where I think that I have no right to advocate for anything politically in a country where I'm not the citizen. I'm not the citizen of Georgia, so, hence I think that I have no right to advocate for anything politically. Georgians are the ones that can do that. I have no right to do that.
you,
That's it.
you should you should be like Syrian actors, like a political chameleon, you know? Like one day you're like, Bashar is awesome, Bashar is the best. The next day, listen, Bashar, he wasn't a good person. I made a mistake, guys. I like you more, but I couldn't say. You know, this is what you
you
should
know,
do.
who's doing that right now? His wife.
Fucking hell, man. She got F. Well, again, this is Twitter talk, okay?
Mm.
I like that the British government told her like, we're not gonna renew your passport. Piss off.
Imagine that, yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
his wife was in the United Kingdom.
So his wife has a UK passport,
Ah, okay, cool.
and
Yeah,
she
because
went to Russia.
her parents were her parents are Syrian, and I think that
Yeah,
they are also like doctors or something like
yeah,
that. So she's
yeah.
also from the family of doctors.
That's how you know she's truly Syrian because like every Syrian she has double citizenship. Like one is not enough for Syrians.
Yeah.
So you
You
mean to
know?
tell me that Syrians are much smarter Indians? Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't
Well,
know
Because
that.
Indians basically do the same thing, but they don't have a second citizenship.
and here's the thing. In Indians' case, they were kind of like they went on the boat with the British, you know?
Mm-mm.
They were like, we're sticking with you. We're not staying here. In Syrians' case, they were like, listen, I'm going there. I don't care what hell I'm going through. I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna get my passport. You know? And I like the thought that the UK government were like jealous and envy, like jealous of Russia. Like she chose Russia before, and they were like, oh, "How dare you cheat on us with Russia? You know,
Mm.
let Russia give you the citizenship."
Russia has been handing the citizenships left and right.
Oh yeah, man. Well, the highest person who gets an apartment in Russia. You know? Yeah, like I don't know, Omar, if you know this. Like, like I don't know how many Syrian politicians they bought like apartments in Moscow, I think,
Mm-hmm.
for $45 million. So they suddenly became Russian citizens.
You know what's funny thing is that right after the elections here, we had a show, and we were sitting like with a few audience members after the show and some comedians, and there were a couple of Georgian girls there from the audience, and they were talking about like the elections, and at some point, one of them. She was like, "Can you imagine like this fucking Georgian Dream Party, this Ivanishvili, like the creator, the founder of
Yeah.
this party, it's like they are dictators and people elected dictatorship. Can you imagine?" Then she turns to me and she tells me, "Can you imagine that we will have to live the next 4 years under dictators?" And I'm like, "Can I imagine?" And then I pointed at the other guy and was like, "Why don't you ask him?" And the guy who was sitting right next to me was Egyptian. I was like, "Why don't you ask this guy?" Imagine our faces like when she was telling that. Imagine, how can we? I'm like, "I can teach you how."
Fun fact,
It's
knowing
yeah.
dictators, you're not gonna get ruled by a dictator for 4 years. It's never 4 years. It's usually 10 or plus.
It starts with 4 years.
It starts. Yeah.
It's
like
like,
the king.
It's like, oh, I will be the president only for 4 years. Every 4 years.
Yeah. I like the thought that when she said 4 years, and like, can you imagine? And you look at your watch, you're like, wait. I need to go back in time, 26 years ago. Yeah.
When I was 6.
Yeah. So, yeah, some people. And you know what's so funny for me? And I will say that I almost predicted Trump, you heard what he's doing.
Buying Greenland. Yep.
Yes,
And
yes.
Oh,
by
yeah.
the way, Canada, do you want to become the 51st state?
Puerto
And
Rico's like, what the fuck, man? I'm here.
and like Mexico, he wants Mexico, and he said like it will be called the American Mexican, blah blah blah. And the president of Mexico was like, no, it's gonna be the Mexican American.
Uh,
Oh, dude, this is the new meta, because funny as it is, today, Lithuania, one of the Lithuanian ministers
I
claimed
heard
that Kaliningrad is actually historically our land. Okay, wait for it. In a few months, we will have Mongolia knocking at the door of all of these motherfuckers.
Yeah, exactly. Like, wait, we own you, we fucked everybody in this.
And Mongolians are like, do you remember Genghis Khan?
Oh man. What? You don't believe us? Okay, DNA test. Technically, everybody has Mongolian blood. Technically.
Technically,
Oh, really?
all of us do.
I thought it's
Yeah,
10% of Mongolians are Genghis Khan. I thought that was just
it's like in
something
the
like
whole
that.
world. It's
Ah.
like in the whole world. It's well, listen, man. My information is from the internet, so it must be information. I don't know,
Look,
man.
dude, I mean, like, Mongolians ruled over Russian people for 300 years. I have no illusions. There were probably a bunch of Mongolians that banged my great, 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 great grandma, So I have no
Hey,
illusions about that.
look on the bright side. Maybe your great 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 grandfather also banged Mongolia.
Maybe, yeah, maybe,
Mm.
maybe not only men.
Yeah. Oh, I like how we went, very correct, factually correct
Ah,
route.
History, dude. I mean, like,
our listeners, they always care about facts. That's
Oh man, I laughed so hard when Trump said we're gonna like make how do you know what when he said we're gonna make like when he said make America great again, that's not what I thought.
uh-huh.
it's funny enough because I think that a very similar motto Hitler used to have when he came to power in 1920s, I think, in
What was
Germany.
it? What was it?
It's something like "Let's make Germany great again" or
Oh,
something like that. That was literally the motto. Yeah.
Holy
I
shit!
thought it
So
was
I
still
guess
all Jews.
I guess the Jews in Hollywood is about to close, guys.
To shut down the doors. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like fucking hell, man. Oh my God, man. That would be very funny.
You wanna know
You
what's?
know,
I don't know. You go. Sorry, mine is not important.
I like how like though what you started with like the fires in California, and I'm thinking to
Yeah.
myself, imagine how much of a freaking loser you have to be when you're home when you have forest fires in winter.
Well, yeah, but it's also California, man. Like, I don't think
Well,
they have winter.
Yeah, they had Tupac, so what can you say? He nearly caused the Civil War, allegedly.
The thing about California is, I think I hear the same thing every year, like forest fires in California. Oh, watch out! I'm like, really? Like,
Can you deal with it?
happens every year. Like,
Dude, it's the same shit in Russia, like when in winter the Russian authorities every December they're like, we were not expecting so much snow in winter.
Man, I love the Jordan excuse in Jordan. They're like, yeah, we can't handle this shit. Good luck, citizens. No lies, no nothing. We can't have. We think we're prepared. Remember, we think.
Dude, that's why I really like. I like the the dictators from Muslim countries. Like the king of Egypt. The guy is awesome. Literally comes out and goes like, "I'm gonna rape all of you people. I'm gonna drink all of your blood till the very last drop. What
Well,
the fuck are you gonna do about it?"
he didn't say that. He just said, I'm going to make the economy better.
It was like,
Well,
no,
Which
no.
underlines that what he said.
What? See, what Kirill said is what he meant. What he actually said was, "I'm gonna run for president." That's basically
Yeah.
like sums up everything.
Let me translate from Muslim English,
Yeah,
from political Muslim English.
Oh man.
Muslim English. Oh
Okay,
man.
so are we all going to prison, or am I gonna get killed? I'm probably gonna get killed.
No, man. Here's what you should do. Just don't drink tea. Just don't do
That's
that.
why I prefer coffee. Yeah.
Just don't drink tea. And in Omar's case, like he has Russian citizenship, so in he can go to where can you go can you go to Egypt without
I can
like
go to Egypt with but I have to get a visa from the airport.
ah
Yeah,
okay.
they have this wonderful convenience.
Yeah,
Imagine, like, if the system was that you don't know whether you get visa or not, so it's like a lottery. You buy the fucking ticket right
Like
now for 100,000 rubles or something like that. You fly over to Egypt and they're like, "I'm sorry, but you lost."
you just go like the pilot takes the thingy, the intercom, and goes 4C, 2B, 8A, and you're like, bingo, yeah, I made it, motherfucker.
the rest open the door and jump off the plane.
I don't know why. I still hope. I one day hope it gets better, but sometimes just check what countries Egypt can go to without visas. Never impressed. I don't know why. It's like
I checked the one in Jordan. It's what was it? 19 countries, I think.
I think
Russia was
you can go to Egypt without a visa. Yeah.
yeah, and like
Oh.
it's 19 countries, and of the 19, 15 are known dictatorships.
Well, we got to work together, man.
Well, I have to go teach them.
It's like they say, keep your friends close and your enemies closer, basically.
Well, basically, they're not enemies. They're just learning from each other to a certain point. You
Yeah.
know?
Or
Fucking
Learning
hell, man.
skills, my ass.
Good
Start. Good start. Good start, guys.
Fucking hell, man. Oh, you made me laugh too hard.
here was my point. The one I was gonna, because Kirill was saying, oh, the Georgian girl was like, can you imagine us living under a dictatorship? And my point is, everyone is getting Arab traits nowadays. Like this guy just became president, now dictator. Did you hear about this guy who killed the big pharmaceutical guy in
Yeah.
America?
Yeah.
He's called a terrorist, killing one guy. Terrorist.
Oh, that's actually that's an improvement.
Really?
He's white, yeah. The guy who killed the
Guy,
CEO or
white
whatever.
guy,
Yeah, white guy.
Luigi
Yeah.
something, I
Well,
forgot. Luigi Mansion, I
anybody,
don't know.
if you're gonna do a Mario joke, do it now, guys.
Mamma mia.
Well, dude, I'm not surprised. Well, that's even better, because right now a lot of people called me a Nazi just because I'm Russian. So, and I'm like, last time I checked, I haven't killed 10 million Jews, so I don't know.
Because before it was when a white guy committed crime, like this is now we're talking about the US, they had a mental disorder.
Okay.
Now it's a terrorist
But
improvement.
now he killed a rich guy, or like like it's
Robin Hood level of terrorism.
yeah.
That guy probably played GTA 5 and he's like, I'm the new Trevor. Yeah. I'm gonna like, I don't know, man. Just rid the world of all those rich people.
It's
Fucking hell,
it's
man.
weird that people call you like Russians Nazis because like Russians were like the ones who were like
They blocked
outspokenly
the Nazis.
fighting Nazis. It's like
Oh man,
Well,
wait for it on
really,
Twitter
I
or
don't know.
like on the internet right now. They're gonna find a way to tell you, listen, it's not that, it's the Nazis. They were in collusion with the Russians, and then the Russians turned on them because the Nazis turned on. Someone's gonna find a weird loophole.
Then he's
dude,
gonna get on Joe Rogan.
I draw an easier analogy, like it's like in video games. You beat the final boss, you become the final boss. Like you beat the
Mm,
Nazis, you become a Nazi. That's
Nazis,
how it
okay, now.
works.
Okay.
That, that's
Well,
that's why that's exactly why I think that Palestinians are like still haven't beaten Jews, because they think, okay, if we beat the Jews, we become the
we're gonna
Jews.
make them
Like,
cheap. No, we don't want that.
mm.
Why would we want a good sense in taking care of money, and having the victim, what do you call it? Victim, not syndrome. I was
Mentality,
about to say syndrome. Yeah, yeah,
victim
victim
mentality.
mentality.
victim mentality.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, now
Oh,
I'm anti-Semite, I think, as well.
Welcome to
For-
the gang, man. Welcome to the gang.
speaking of video games, I
Mm,
went on a really weird GTA like clones. I like to call them clones, like Red Dead Redemption,
mm.
Mhm.
and then Sleeping Dogs.
Oh, Sleeping Dogs is a good game, man.
Actually, when I played it now, I was like, wait, this is not as good as I remember it.
I don't know, man. There's something about the first mission for me. Just when you're like fucking in running in the kitchen.
Yeah,
Chasing.
yeah,
Yeah.
But
Oh
that's
my.
because that's why I liked Sleeping Dogs. I still remember it. It's like a John Woo movie, like it's
yes,
like
yes,
Hello from the 90s or 80s, like the John Woo style movies with Chow
yeah,
Yun Fat and like guys like that.
yeah,
It's a good callback. It's a good callback
yeah,
to
to that.
those Chinese/Korean movies,
Mm.
And
action movies as well.
and now I'm on Yakuza Zero.
Oh my
Mm.
God. Dude,
Man,
goodbye for like 150 hours, I guess.
man, man, I didn't leave the first area for too many hours, and I'm totally not proud of it. Like I can't sleep, I really like I can't sleep, so I was like, I'll just sit and I was like, holy shit, I'm now like singing.
The funny thing is that I saw one blogger, like a gamer, and
Yeah,
he likes beating games for platinum trophies on PlayStation. And he spent a lot. He spent about, I think, 300 hours beating the platinum trophy in Yakuza, and 50 of those hours he spent getting the trophy in Mahjong
yeah,
because he had no idea how the fuck to play it. And he was
man,
Googling the rules,
yeah,
but because there is no good English manual, he was like searching for Japanese manuals
and
and
translating.
translating them. It was
Mm.
so fun. Imagine like 50 hours. You spent 50 hours playing fucking Mahjong in a
You
video game.
you want a worse achievement thing? So there's a game like an MMO. It's Final Fantasy 14. I think it was a mahjong game in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and to get the platinum like to like get the achievement, you have to play like other players.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Online.
The
Yeah.
problem is online. The problem is the other players, they don't know how to play mahjong, so they don't play it.
Ah.
you know. So he's literally just there sitting like, would you like to play this? And they're like, no, no, no. I already have a hemorrhoid. I already have cancer. I already have like whatever disease you want because of it. I am not touching this. Literally just like, can you guys get someone? I need to get the achievement. I need like to win a few. I don't know how many players, and no one is playing it. So he's just like looking at the screen, going, "I'm just waiting."
Mhm.
Yeah,
But I would
yeah.
assume if you tell him, hey man, I need the platinum trophy, can you join? I would assume they would like, okay. Or people are
Oh
not
man,
nice.
you haven't played mahjong, have you?
No. I
Yeah.
I heard this game for the first time. To be honest, when Kirill was saying Mahjong, I was like, oh, maybe that's the name of like the first city or whatever. And then I understood it's a mini game at the
Oh
end.
man, but Yakuza is such a man. I haven't like stopped laughing the whole game because
Oh.
of the dialogue is so good. I'm like, what the hell, man?
Mm.
This is so and there's a new Yakuza game coming out. I don't know if you know the pirate game,
Yeah. I saw that. Yeah. I
you
saw I
know?
saw that.
And it's so funny because there's a game which is called Skull and Bones by Ubisoft, which was called the first quadruple A game. And when people played it, they only gave it like a D minus.
Okay.
And imagine they spent, I think, about $200 million developing the
Yeah,
game.
yes, and 9 years of development time.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
And the problem is that they already have the base because if you played Assassin's Creed Black Flag,
Mm-hmm.
it has the base of that game. And when they made it, they removed it. So that in Skull and Bones, you're a pirate, you fight other ships, and you don't have you board other ships, you don't have that fight, you don't have anything. That's it. It's just like, hey, you have a ship, you fight other ships. Good luck.
Okay.
And now this game, Yakuza, has made a pirate game that has everything that Black Flag had, and more. And
Mm-hmm.
now on top of that, it's a Yakuza game. If people don't understand, a Yakuza game has everything concerning Japanese modern culture.
Culture, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
culture.
You
It's
know?
like
And
you can go sing in karaoke, you can play mahjong, you can play. They have these kind of slot machines that you can. I don't remember how it's called.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
but you can play that as well. It's like you can literally like spend 300 hours really in a game, and
And not
Fuck a high
yeah,
schooler.
yeah, and not move on your, and not progress on the main quest line.
the main
Like
quest.
this is how ridiculous these games are. I
Mm.
like
Yeah.
I like more like the corny Japanese humor that they have there, because
Oh
they
my
tend
God,
to
man.
hyperbole everything.
Everything.
Have
Mm-hmm.
you do you have a feeling playing Yakuza that is like JoJo? Like it's a little bit, it has
Oh
this
man.
this kind of
Yes.
vibe, like a
Yes.
JoJo vibe.
Like they I think like they did such a good thing of like the of adding their like exploring the culture so deep, and then like exaggerating it to 100. And on top of that, it has an amazing story.
Mm-hmm. But really, like, you have to, dude, they have like what, 9 or 10 games, and you really have to
Yes.
start playing with the first game, because there was a
Oh,
thing, I think, because when they released the sixth Yakuza, they kind of retired Kiryu, who was like the main
Yeah.
character for a very long time. But then the fan base was like, "What the fuck? We want our Kiryu back," and they brought him back like 2 games later. And you're like, "And where should I fucking start?" And you're like, "Start with PlayStation 2 games."
Uh,
So
it's
all
Spend
games
your
are
life.
connected, yeah?
All the
so,
games
so
are connected. Yeah,
Oh,
all the
okay.
games are connected to each other.
I think they started with like one or two, like they started with like the Yakuza game, and then as Kirill said, a little while they wanted to retire the main character, so people were like, "What the fuck?" So like, okay, here's his origin story,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you know.
Okay.
And then after the origin story, they were like, "Okay, we want to like, okay, here's what we should do. Let's do Yakuza and all the retarded Yakuza like ideas and put it in the like 300 years ago." And it's
Okay.
Yeah,
like,
there was.
you know?
They also had this Yakuza game about like like Shogun times,
Yes,
I think, yeah,
yes.
or something
I
like
think
that.
it's called like a Dragon Ishin. I think I'm not sure.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
it
yeah,
has
yeah.
like so what they did, they put the characters like
Mm-hmm.
you can see like and the funny thing is it has Easter eggs for the future games.
Nice.
Yeah, man, it's such a well-made freaking game. I was like, what the hell? And I'm now on zero. I don't know if I'm gonna go with the continuation of it.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, like the Japanese game developers, they're fucking crazy. Like the I like the fact that for the past several years they started porting all of the, like a lot of JRPGs
Yes.
from, like
Yeah.
from Japan, translating them into English and so on and so forth. There is there's this freaking awesome video game series called Trails. Like it's a Japanese video game series. There are so many games. I think about 10 games that have been released for the past 20 years or 25 years. And all of these games are connected. So they happen either simultaneously, like at the same time, or something like that. And characters from previous games appear in later games. And this is like the entire story of one country that is on the verge of having a war. And you get to see it from different perspectives, from different cities, and so on and so forth. One such game, and there was like a problem. People were asking, why haven't they been translated earlier? One such game has 10 times more text and dialogues than fucking Skyrim.
Yeah.
Imagine trying to from Japanese into English.
Like there's one game with like Final Fantasy 14. It's expansion Endwalker. I think had so much text. It was more than a Dostoevsky book.
Yeah.
It's like, and then they had to translate that from Japanese to English to German to because of this. One of the thoughts is what happened. I think it's because of Sony. They were monopolizing over the Japanese market, you could say, and the last 2 years they fucked up so bad. That they lost so much money because it was PS5 exclusive, and the sales of PS5 was bad. So basically the games are on the shelves and nobody is buying them. And right now the cost of development, as Kirill said, like for Skull and Bones is 200 million. 200 million on a $70 game. How much do you need to sell to break even? And that's 200 million without the marketing.
Yeah.
You basically like just the game. Just if you want to break even with the game development itself, like you have to earn $200 million plus 200 more million bucks to make it profitable. Basically, that's the logic. So
and that's why like they're like fucked on this, and they said, okay, we need, because right now what they're doing, the Dragon Quest series of games, which is it's an amazing series. Now they're porting it to like PC and translating it. The Final Fantasy, they made the pixel remaster because they were like, wow, we're so late with this.
And I think the issue is also that the Western RPGs, like after you play some of the Japanese RPGs, you don't want to play Western RPGs because they're too dumb for you. It's like like it's as if they make these games for people with double-digit IQ, with 50 IQ. Because like really, there was one of my favorite RPGs like ever is Gothic. I don't know whether you've heard about the game. It's a very old game by German developers. It became very popular in Russia back in the day. And I remember the game because the game made you actually use your brain in some situations. Like I remember one of the first quests, you're like, you arrive at one location and you need to have like reference letters from the citizens of the camp to progress further into the game. And one of them tells you, okay, I'll give you this reference, but here's what you need to do. There is one sword that I want to buy, there is, but the issue is that the fucking blacksmith, he's a fucking prick who doesn't want to sell me this sword. I want this sword, but he doesn't want to sell it to me. So here's what we're going to do. I'll give you the money. I'll give you 50 ores. Yeah, ores was the currency in the game. And you go there and you buy it. And you're like, okay, so you take this 50 ores, you come to the blacksmith, and he goes like, this sword is like 60 ores. And you're like, what the fuck? You were selling it for 50. He goes like, sorry, inflation, fuck off. And here's what, and most of the players, they will be like, okay, I'll add 10 ores from my own pocket. And here's what the game doesn't tell you. The game doesn't tell you that you can actually end the dialogue, go back to that guy and tell him, hey, bitch, it now costs 60. And he will give you 10 more.
Mm.
Yeah,
But the game never tells you about that. You have to use
yeah,
your own
yeah, the
head,
brain.
like
Yeah,
logic, to think logically. It's a very simple thing, but they never tell you. Today, they will probably have a fucking updated quest where they will tell you, oh, you can go back to this guy. How the fuck am I supposed to know about that? I don't know, like,
but
but
I can tell why
that's the
this
thing.
game was popular with Russians for some reason. Like it just you describe the story of like a young under 18 kid asking a guy to buy him beer, basically.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is this is the whole story, basically.
In my case,
no,
that was my dad.
Oh, cool
Was
father.
asking me to buy to
Oh,
buy
okay.
beer for him. Yeah.
in Jordan, the only equivalence we have this is cigarettes.
Oh yeah,
So like
cigarettes. Yeah.
yeah, when you go to the shop, you're like, this is for my dad, and the shopkeeper will look at you and go, for your dad. Okay.
Dude, we would like, we would forge notes. I would be like, this is the note from my dad. You see, he wrote it.
Yeah. You're like,
Your school teacher who's working behind like a night shift. Like, okay, Kirill, I know, you forged the signature days ago.
No, he'd be like, first of all, fuck off. I'm your school teacher. Second of all, you missed a comma here. Fuck off.
uh,
We'll see you at school tomorrow. Or something like that.
you get like a doctor's prescription, and you're like, see, it's stamped and everything, motherfucker. Please give me the cigarettes.
Mhm.
Abed left us for some reason. Oh my God. Now we're
You,
gonna have to talk, just the two of us.
you know what? Just to remember that there was a really cool thing how once they integrated stand-up comedy in one of the GTA games, in GTA 4, I think. You could take your friends out, and you could go to a stand-up club, and
Mm-mm.
there were, I think, 5 or 6 different sets that Ricky Gervais and Cat Williams recorded specifically for the game. Like
Oh,
Oh
you
shit.
will
oh,
never see, you will never hear or see these jokes, these sets anywhere but in GTA 4. Like you can Google it.
well,
I think they have like separate
you,
videos on YouTube
you're
right
gonna
now.
make me want to play GTA 4 again. Oh man, I still remember the pigeons.
I
Collect
don't
the fucking bridges.
I don't know why I never got like far into any GTA games until I became older. Like I would just get through the first mission and then I would just start going on a killing spree for some reason. And for me that was the whole game. I bet your mic's off for some reason. Oh, okay. Oh shit. That
There's a
was
mute.
Yeah, continue. Don't
no
worry about it.
yeah. For me like I would
Yeah.
just get to the first mission and just go on a killing spree. And for me that was the whole game. It's just like kill as much people you can and then
You know how I realized I got a bit older, let's say? When I first played Red Dead Redemption, I killed everything.
mm-hmm.
I mean everything. Like I made sure that any lawman, any person in like on the horse is gonna pull a gun and shoot me. You know?
Mm-hmm.
And now when I played it in such a lawful way. I didn't like
Yeah, yeah.
if I kill a civilian, I restart it.
I mean, dude, come on. We all went from these stages in GTA when at first you're like you're taking a car and you wreck this car in less than 2 minutes. Then the second stage is like, I want to finish this mission without scratching this car. And then the third stage is when you're following all the traffic
Laws,
rules.
yeah. Oh.
Like it's so on and so forth. You're like a law-abiding citizen.
And the last stage is when you actually finish the story. Like, oh, that's why.
That's why.
That's why there's a car up his ass. Now I get it.
You wanna know the problem with Red Dead Redemption 2 is I think well I'm not sure if everyone knows this or no, but like there are multiple endings depending on how like what's it called? Like, your wanted level or
honor
whatever.
honor
Honor, yeah,
honor
honor.
Yeah,
level.
And for me is the problem is I knew about that, so I wanted to get the good ending, so I would try to be like a good
man.
person. If I didn't know about that, I would have been like shooting everyone.
This is real. Man, till this day, I have no idea what's the story of Vice City is, of GTA Vice City.
It has a
Till this
story?
day,
There is a
exactly.
story.
There is a story.
No, like 90% of people who play GTA Vice City have no fucking idea what the story was, but every single person has PTSD from that fucking toy helicopter mission.
Not only the toy helicopter, every person have taken a bike and tried. There's a construction site and tried to jump over the what do you call it? The big like steel beam. Everybody,
I remember how there was one character in Vice City, like a movie director, he was like a parody of Steven Spielberg, right? But he was making porn movies. And like when they first introduce him to the character, they go like, "Oh, that's our Steven Bloomberg, and he makes sport movies, but he likes being creative." And then like the camera switches on this director, he goes like, "Okay, then," and after he sticks his dick into this girl, there's a shark, and the shark eats both of them, and the shark bites off his dick, and he will now have to fuck the shark somehow to save his life or something like that. That was like, that's the character I remembered from the game.
yeah, so funny. Oh my God, this is like such a down memory lane thing.
Mm.
Yeah,
I don't know why in Egypt so the way you would get video games is you would like send your computer to a guy and he would just give you like his fucking hard drive full of games. And for
yeah.
some every time you would get GTA, you'd always get GTA San Andreas, but it would be named like GTA 5000. And it would be just like this modded GTA that like all the missions are like already done and you could all you could do is just with like the modded stuff you just go and kill people. That's why for me I never knew like the most GTA had the story behind it. Like I always thought it's just like black guy kills people. Cool, funny.
Oh man, and San Andreas. How many people made him so buff that he couldn't like walk? That when he walked, he just leaned a little bit to the right. Whenever he walked, like he has one ball bigger than the other. Oh.
Mm.
Dude, and the irony is that they cannot make these games anymore because of the censorship and stuff like that. Like try releasing San Andreas these days. Like people
Yeah.
will
Well,
cancel you.
to be fair, now we have Baldur's Gate 3.
Well, yeah, you can fuck a bear in Baldur's Gate 3, like
Fucking hell,
literally.
man. You
Yeah.
can fuck anything that moves, man. I was amazed.
Dude, they used it as a marketing tool. They were basically marketing the game, saying you can fuck a bear in our game.
Mm.
Yeah. Oh,
Marketing
yeah.
to
People
the
bought
furry.
it. People
Yeah,
bought it.
man.
It worked.
How many fairies are there in the world? Three. They're gonna buy our game, and they're gonna be racist.
Mm. Black bears, no thank you.
Black bears, only white bears.
Oh
This is a
man,
white bear country.
it's so amazing. And you know what's funny right now about like the games and everything is that like when you do anything in these games in the RPG like genre games, you like in a lot of the Western ones, yeah, the world stays the same no matter what you change. Even if you blew up a city, it stays the
Mhm.
same. So the other people they don't acknowledge it. But when you look at fucking in the 90s JRPG ones,
Hmm.
they're like, oh, you blew up this. It's a living, breathing world. Like as Kirill said, it's like there's inflation, and he said 60 ores,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because it's like whatever you do, it affects everything, and that's amazing. But now, what do they want? They just want, let the game out. Let's get like they wish list and crowd fund the game,
Mhm.
Well,
and
Rockstar is doing the stuff with the like they're trying to at
Well,
least have
I
like
well,
mean, true. Yeah.
well, you know what's the problem with this is now it's a bit people are not like let's say gamers are kind of scared of it because I'll give you an example. Like, let's take Rocksteady. Rocksteady was Batman Arkham, the Arkham
Yes,
game.
yes,
So
yes.
yeah, if you look
The
at the Arkham game,
Rocksteady made those games. Yeah.
yeah, and how well they're made, and how amazing everything in it is, and then they put out Suicide Squad,
I hate that so sick.
you know, and now
Mhm.
the studio is fucked.
Because
You have
the idea
Mm. Yeah, Kirill.
there there is just this idea because right now I mean, like video game business has always been a business. It has always been about the money. But right
Yeah,
now they found like a very simple formula. Oh, let's make some game. Let's make like a shop inside of the game where we would be selling
yeah,
skins, like or stuff like
yeah,
that. Or
yes,
you have loot boxes in basically every single game,
yeah.
right?
Basically,
And
live service games.
uh, before that, before yeah, live service games, but before live service games, like at the end of the 90s, even like the 2000s, uh, they also wanted to make a game that would sell. But the idea back then was, okay, we need to make such an interesting game, such a cool game that people will buy it. And that
Yeah,
was the idea back then. And
yeah,
trust me, if the idea of loot boxes had been discovered like 15 years ago, we would have had the same shit 15 years ago as we have right now.
yeah.
But
But
back then, it was different. Back then, people were
well,
just trying to make a good game to sell it and to make a lot of
yeah.
money.
Also, the idea is that how much game development takes time. Like before, it used to be like a few years, 5 years, let's say maximum, and then a game would come out. Now, a lot of the games are minimum 7, 8 years, and a
Mm-hmm.
lot of that can be gone. Like there are games when you see what was like written and what's implemented, you know?
Mhm.
Even what the trailer showed, and then when you play the game, the shit that was shown in the trailer are not in the game. But what I'm trying to say is, why is there a bit fear? Like, I'll take a recent example, Dragon Age.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you played Dragon Age. Dragon Age is a game, Dragon Age like one, two, and Inquisition. The Inquisition had its problems, but it was still like a good game. If you play those games, you have so much freedom in them. It was insane how much freedom you have in the game, you know? And the writing was amazing. Like, there's a quest where you have to like support either the dwarves, like a faction in the dwarves,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and which one you support. It's horrible. It's still like the ending is very like, okay, you support, let's say, tribe A, they're gonna massacre tribe B.
Mm-hmm.
And if you support tribe B, you're like, oh, they're amazing, they're good. They will enslave tribe A.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
know? And then you're like, look how much like they have such deep thoughts, and then it affects the whole world, blah blah. And then you have the new Dragon Age, the Veil Guard.
Mm-hmm.
If you look
Uh,
at it, it's as someone said, the dialogue, Omar, is literally like, imagine, Omar, you do stand up. How many times in stand up people came to you and told you, Omar, these jokes are too dark, or this is too much, or don't do these jokes.
It's
Yeah,
usually the guy who runs the show.
usually, you
Oh,
know. And
no, no,
I learned the
no
thought that
shout out.
Omar now runs the show, and he tells himself that.
No, no, no. I mean, like the guy who thinks he's the big boss,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah, and in Dragon, like basically, it's HR with you in the room.
Mm-hmm. Ah, okay.
That's what the dialogue of that game is, and that makes people go, "Fuck! If you can't write a proper dialogue,
Mm-hmm.
well, how? What about the future of other games?"
You want to know something that Kirill said about? He said like, oh, like the Japanese developers are way better. I think it's because the Japanese people are taking risks, trying new stuff. And
Yeah,
that's why we like it. Because with American developers, how many Fortnite games do we need? Like have like
yes,
Fortnite,
mhm.
Overwatch. There's the new Marvel Fortnite game that came
man,
out.
the
People
yeah,
saying
the
it's good.
Marvel
Marvel
Overwatch
Rivals.
rivals, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
Marvel
People
Overwatch,
saying it's
yeah,
good. It's good, but It's like same concept, no story, nothing. It's just recognizable characters and
Yeah,
pay.
they just, and the problem is, for example, Overwatch was very uh like booming, what,
Mm,
7 years ago. And now, like, so the development of the game is taking 7 years, and they're like, yay, we're gonna, oh wait, people have moved on from this.
yeah.
It's like, I think that one of there are several indicators of a good game or a memorable game, and
Yeah,
or not. One of mine, for example, if I can't remember the names of at least two or three central characters, that means the game is shit or the story is just boring. Like
yeah,
that's it, because
That's
true.
you don't really remember it.
You don't give a shit about the characters. Yeah,
well,
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
it's
you
not
don't
only
give a
for
shit about
games.
the characters.
I don't think it's only for games. It's just for any
About
story
people.
in general.
About people. Yeah, if I
Yeah.
can't remember your name, you're shit. Fuck
Shit,
off.
yeah.
What was the name of the president of Russia? I forget, man.
Yeltsin.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeltsin.
Oh shit.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, Yeltsin.
Oh my
Exactly.
God. Thank
yes,
God.
yes, yes. Man, this guy drinks, and I would love to see him with
Oh, my
here
dad
with.
loves that guy, man. Oh,
Oh,
my dad's like,
man.
he's the funniest person I've ever seen in my life because he's like, he always tells me about this interview where he got shit faced and he started flirting with the like the interpreter or whatever the fuck they're called.
Yeah.
Funny
Dude,
shit I've ever seen.
he's the original political prankster. Like there was I think in 1998, where his private jet flew over to Great Britain, and they were like meeting him there with red carpet and stuff like that with an orchestra. He got shit faced so much he couldn't even get out, and so his plane just turned around and left.
Oh, okay.
It literally is a real case, a real
Like,
story.
that's like a Tinder date, you know? Oh, you see your date, you're like, nope, that's not what I wanted.
Catfish,
Well, I mean,
catfish. Yeah.
to be fair, if I saw the face of the Queen of Britain, England, I would be like, no, fuck that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Turn around and
I love the thought that he looked at the alcohol. He's like, go back, go back. We need to bring more alcohol for me to sit with this.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Like,
Oh, man. Oh,
isn't getting drunk while like in air, isn't that bad for your heart or some shit like that? Like with shit face, I mean.
I would assume so. But from the few flights that I've been with Russians, I think it's like a false stereotype. It's a myth.
I know that taking Viagra on an airplane, that's bad. Comedian Keith Robinson. He said,
Why? Oh, Keith Robinson is awesome.
yeah,
Yeah,
I think he got a second stroke from taking Viagra on an airplane.
that's probably because of the Viagra, not of the airplane.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah, I'm saying, yeah. No,
based on Jim Jeffries' the 15-minute bit, I know that if you are lactose intolerant, better not eat cheese while on a date.
Okay, hell, man.
especially if you want your ass eaten. That's bad marketing or whatever the fuck. I don't
That's
know what.
not tossing salad, you know?
It's-
That's exiting bowel movement. Oh man. What recent specials have you guys watched that are fun to watch?
I haven't, to be honest. Like, I haven't
No?
watched any specials for the past year. Like,
Holy
just
shit.
there was nothing. I did some, like the year before. I did catch on to like Chris Rock's special.
Yeah.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
And that was only good for the last 10 minutes when he went into Will Smith
Yeah.
story. Like the rest was meh. So.
There's one
I
special.
watched Jim
Oops.
Jeffries' last special.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Was also good.
Yeah.
That's where he was like, leave us old people alone. What the
Oh
fuck do you
yes.
want from us?
Mm-hmm.
And I always watch. Like right now, considering all the fucking retardedness that's going on in the world with like tolerance, intolerance, I would always watch a Bill Burr special, like because he
Uh,
doesn't give a fuck. Like that's what I like about Bill Burr.
yeah.
For
The
me, I
one
didn't.
that
Uh,
yeah, Omar.
for
Yeah,
me,
Omar.
I didn't watch it, but I really want to watch it. It was recommended by a lot of comedy podcasts. Adrian Appalucci or something like that. Jewish
Okay.
comedian that opens for Louis C.K.
Ah, okay.
People say it has a good special. I want to check it out. That's the only one
I
that
just
comes to
want
mind.
I just want to watch the new Jim Gaffigan because of the title. It's called The Skinny. And
Okay.
because all his specials were like about him eating, because like Jim Jeffries takes a top Jim Jeffries, I mean Jim Gaffigan takes a
Mm,
food topic and just like every angle in it he would use it.
he would
You know?
milk.
Yeah, and now it's the skin basically he would fry it, or I don't know, what do you do with steak? No?
You cook it. You
Thank
bake
you.
it.
Yeah, bake.
Grill it.
And this one is called The Skinny, so I want to watch what he talks about since like he became skinnier. That's what
Spoiler
I watch.
alert. Ozempic.
Ozempic, yeah,
Probably.
definitely.
What's the deal with the Ozempic?
Bad
I've
Like
for
been hearing
you.
about
they
it a lot.
fuck. I hate all of those fucking retards who use it to lose weight, dude. It's just
It's
like
Can
it's
can I take it while
uh,
I know for me, but can I take it to on a plane or not?
haven't researched that, but it's bad for you. People can't shit, apparently. That's what I heard.
Well,
we have to consult, I think, Abed's sister, because
what did
she's into
yeah.
medicine.
Also, I love his sister. I was like, what did my sister take Ozempic? I did like
I thought you were
Can you
just
shit right now?
I thought this was
Try
like
it.
you were trying to make like your sister is so fat, like we should consult her type of joke.
and
Actually, I had something similar happen. Like the reason why I have like a shaved head is I hit my head. Like no,
But I showered with awesome.
I like hit my head and I started bleeding and people were like, "Oh, maybe like you like got a cut or something." So I shaved my head off and then people were looking at it and then we realized that we don't have any doctors in the group and everyone was like, "I don't know, man. Looks fine." And we're like, "Okay, so
so my head, so from Ozempic to my head, hitting my head to listen. Let's shave it now.
well, yeah.
I want to see the cut. Come on. Like,
So you had like a what do you call it? A shaving machine,
A trimmer,
like
yeah,
on
yeah.
demand, yeah?
Yeah,
A
yeah.
trimmer
trimmer,
on
yeah.
demand, yeah. Oh,
Just in case, every respectful gentleman should carry a tripper with himself.
Yeah.
yeah. True, true, true. Omar,
Yes, sir.
uh, how did you hit your head?
I was drunk. I don't remember. I was
Ah,
drunk. I don't remember. The thing is, my friend, he went to like his bookshelf to get a Bible, but as soon as he opens the bookshelf, like a book falls on his forehead, and he like literally has a cut in between his eyebrows. And then like the next day, I was near the bookshelf and I hit my head there, and then I just started bleeding.
were you were you like in solidarity with your friend? What the fuck, man?
I don't know, man. Listen, it was not the best living conditions that I've ever seen in my
It
life.
was a possessed
Yeah,
bookcase.
yeah,
I
yeah.
hate everyone who's interested in religion. Fuck you.
No, I wasn't going for the Bible. I was
Like, I love the thought that the Holy Ghost was actually there, you know? Oh man.
Oh,
But so here's my second question. What's up with Ozempic and your head bleeding?
Oh no, because Kirill said you should consult your sister because she's
Yeah,
in like the medical field.
pharmaceutical thing. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I remember the story where like people told me shave your head and we're gonna look to see if it's like severe, if you have a severe cut or not. And then everybody looked and they were like, oh, I'm not a doctor. I don't know. And I was like, ah,
Oh man, these drunk stories are amazing.
oh
That you're
man,
so drunk, you can do this. You're like, let's shave his head. We need
yeah.
better visuals. Satellites need to see his head. Oh man.
You
Oh,
know, it's
fucking
funny.
hell.
It's funny. I've just realized that for like what's it been like 6 years, not even 6, 7 years. For 7 years of doing comedy, I've never performed drunk. Like
Oh,
I think that I've never
I
performed
think you
drunk.
you you drank beer, but no, not shit faced.
No,
No.
no, I wasn't shit faced. Yeah, I would. I
Yeah.
that's what like I would have a glass or two of beers, but that's it. Like
Yeah.
I remember once I performed when I was sick. Like I had a 38-degree temperature and I still performed. And I just remember that I took these like the meds just to drop the temperature, and I did my set. And in like towards the end of doing the set, I started feeling that the temperature was going back up.
mm.
So, and after I went off stage, I went right into the toilet to puke.
No,
Like
fucking hell.
I remember that happened to me. Yeah,
Uh,
but
You're, you're, sit, you're sitting there, it's like, wait, am I sweaty from bombing or am I sweaty from dying? Which one is it?
yeah, yeah. Which one is that? Maybe a little bit of both. You know?
I can fake it.
It's
What is this? Is that puke? No, these are my jokes.
Fucking hell.
I also because you're talking about never performing drunk. I never performed drunk, but I had a guy say that I performed drunk because I dropped the mic stand one time. Like they got like the place where the venue we were performing at, they got like a new stage. Like this, it was like
Yeah,
this small box that I can barely stand on, and I wasn't used to it. So when I put the mic stand like to my left,
yeah.
it fell. And the guy goes, he texts like the social media manager. He goes, "This guy, the host is drunk. He broke a plate." And I'm like, "What plate did I break?" And then yeah, for like the biggest time, I was like trying to understand what plate I broke.
Oh, man. Oh, fucking
No.
hell, man.
Oh
No.
yeah, I mean, although I did have some things like I tripped several times when I was going on
Yeah,
stage. You know, like
Mm.
yeah. I
that
think
that's
that
always funny.
that was at Biblioteca, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, the
yeah, yeah.
show. I
I
think.
just tripped.
Yeah,
I
I
tripped over.
remember.
No, I tripped over the wire, like the mic
Mhm.
wire. Yeah.
There was once when I also like there was a show where I tripped like on the stairs and I just instant reaction was like the stairs are trying to kill me. Yeah, that got a laugh. I was like, great. They won't notice that I'm shitting myself right now.
Now, if you trip, do you play it out as oh that's part of my shtick?
Well,
Like I
define
meant to do
like
that.
how.
Like I
Yeah,
meant to
yeah,
do
yeah.
that. Like yeah.
Oh, yeah. Most people would do that, and
Uh,
I think the audience would maybe they would think you were like playing it off.
mm.
You know, especially like I remember in like in Russian comedy, they do a lot like they like not only do like the idea of memorizing the set, but they also memorize the movement.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
You know, like every bit from getting on stage to getting off stage, blah blah, and all of this. So maybe like I would assume that if people saw before how many people like do this rehearsed in like movement, they would think
Mhm.
you played you already planned it. Yeah, I planned to embarrass myself and bash my face on the fucking stage. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
yeah,
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that's true.
and I remember there was once a show that we did, but I don't remember Kirill if you performed uh, that the drunk show. Like you tell your jokes and then you
No,
the audience buy you.
I wasn't there. Yeah.
Ah,
So like
yeah,
when you took the shots. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
So
remember.
if they heard the joke before, you take a shot.
So how did the format go? People would perform, and if the audience liked them, they would buy them shots.
Ah,
Yeah, and then they would do the same set again, and you
ah.
see the difference. The problem is,
Oh, how
yeah, the
many
problem
shots
is,
did they buy them?
well, actually, the audience didn't like the jokes already, and some audience wanted to buy me shots, and I was like, I don't drink.
Mm.
I was hosting. And it was kind of like I remember it was Igor Monday's idea. It's like, listen, I'm Muslim. hosting a drunk show is funny, and there were jokes like coming out, like
Mm-hmm.
playing it off, yeah. But then, like, I remember the few comedians who performed, and they got the shots. I like someone bought them the shots, and they drank, and they got off on stage. One guy literally couldn't say a word, so it was like meh,
Okay.
you know? Yeah, he couldn't say anything. And Dasha was performing, Daria Polkina. She performed, and like in her set, she could not. The punchline was literally somewhere else, you know. But the one thing I really
Punchline has
remember,
left the building.
yeah, literally, an ambulance came and took it home, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And but after it, she got alcohol poisoning. Uh, Another guy got alcohol poisoning. Like, what the
So
fuck?
like yeah, it was like a lot of shots that to the point where they get drunk, yeah?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like like some of them, and even they themselves bought themselves because they
Ah.
wanted to see how it happens. Bad idea, man. Bad
Hmm.
idea.
Hmm.
Like I remember, like the first half was good. Second half, when they're drunk, they couldn't even like put words together, and it was not like it's funny. It wasn't funny because I think it's based on you improvising while being drunk, you
Mm-hmm.
know? And
Mm-hmm.
none could do that. And maybe there's one guy, I'm not sure if it's Ashot Danilian, Armenian comedian. I'm not sure if he was, but there was someone who didn't get drunk and he did the same set. The problem was it wasn't funny before, and it's not gonna be funny now, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like I think that's a lot. It's based on how you play off the drunk and like integrating that into the jokes, and none could do that. They just tried to tell their jokes,
Hmm. Hmm.
and
Hmm.
that's
Yeah.
what kind of like ruined it.
Actually, there's this comedian, I forgot the name, had Matt Ruby or something like that. Some had this
Okay.
idea for a special where he goes. So I think it's like it's the special is cut into four different sections. One he performs like shit faced drunk, one he performs on mushrooms, and one he performs on weed, and one he performs sober. And he's like it's
Yeah.
basically like seeing do they actually affect the way he tells the jokes or not. Fun fact, it
And
does. Spoilers.
No shit.
Yeah.
one on one of them, he was riding a dragon.
Actually, he
See,
said something. He said, whenever he's on substance, the only thing that comes up that ends up coming that's like the only thing in common is he always says to the audience, "I love you guys. You guys are amazing."
yeah.
That's like,
It's,
Uh,
it's like, you know, I remember that back from the Moscow
mm,
comedy times. It's like when some comedians would get uh bad days, you know, would bomb on stage, and it would
mm-hmm,
be like they would get very nervous, and they would try. They don't even think about what they want to say in this case, you know. So just something pops out of their heads, and it was very weird seeing a comedian bombing and then saying, "I love you guys. You guys are such an amazing crowd."
oh
Like,
man, man, that's so funny. Yeah, to be honest, that's still one of the funniest things I watch because I see it like to this day actually in Jordan.
mm.
Like I saw it here, but not like the drunk thing, but like they perform and they bomb and they're like, "You guys are such a good audience," you know. I was sitting in the back like, "No."
You wanna know the thing is, Abed, I realize you say that, but you only say it when you bomb. When it's a bad, like when you kind of hate the audience, you're like, you guys were a great audience. When people were laughing, you're like, ciao, and then you just leave. But
Oh, really?
I realized that in you for some reason. Yeah.
Well, I remember because there was something that I think it's just a muscle memory thing, you know, a
Mm-hmm.
force of habit that I always say you've been a great audience,
Ah,
yeah,
you know?
maybe.
I finish my set the same way. I say, "Thank you guys very much. You've been a great crowd," and
You know
then
why,
I
Omar?
leave.
Because when we were performing, this was when Gleb, you know, this was in the Jim and Jack's days.
Mm-hmm.
We a few nights we had a really, really like really bad nights, you know? Everybody fucks up, hosts, comedians, everybody. And I remember Gleb Tugushev, he got off stage by saying, "You've been a shitty audience." And after it, like I think every comedian was like, "You've been like fuck off," and like you've been a bad audience. You guys don't laugh. Fuck off. You just get off stage.
Hmm.
Every one of them, like with the same thing. And I remember I was watching that. I was like, "No, this is not how I want to." But I closed it to that. Like even a shitty audience also. You
Mm.
know, I was like, "No, I'm never gonna repeat that. No, no, no. I don't want to do this."
Yeah, that's you know what, like what else is kind of, I don't know, maybe gets under my skin a little bit when uh when people are trying to play to the crowd, to the crowd, when people are just basically begging for applause for
Yeah.
some reason,
Oh,
like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
usually it doesn't happen. Here's the funny thing: it doesn't happen when a comedian is doing great, because it
Yeah.
comes naturally, like the applause, the laughter will come naturally. But sometimes it's just like when things don't work, like on stage, you're bombing, like some
Yeah.
comedians are trying to start like asking for applause,
Yes,
for any
yes.
kind of reaction.
Oh
That's
Mm.
man. And they do this pause where like my joke is great. Now you can clap. And there's applause, that's like a 5 second pause. It's not like a one, no, it's like 5 seconds of like
I used to make such mistake, but with the jokes where I would say the line and I would expect people to continue this joke. I would expect people to have some kind of reaction, like applause.
yeah,
Usually,
Mm.
I dropped it. Like right now, I'm thinking about, okay, like if they don't clap, I will go into this direction. If they do clap, okay, nice.
yeah.
That's awesome. And
Oh man. This in Moscow, I remember like I'm gonna say there's one comedian I always expect from him to do the joke, then wait until the audience applauds, and after they applaud, he would go like, "Yeah,"
Yeah, bitch.
and I'm in the back going, "Yeah, okay." Like, can you give me some cheese? I'm lactose intolerant suddenly.
Mm.
But
Oh
going back
man,
to the idea of of getting drunk in stand up, I think that the format would actually work nicely during roasts. Like
yeah,
you're roasting each other, and if it's a bad joke, you take a shot.
the
If
shot.
there is no
Yeah,
reaction, you
Mm.
take a
there
shot.
was
That's
there
good.
was
Yeah.
one which at Stand Up Brothers. This is in Russia, where like if they laugh, you take a shot.
Or something like that. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
could be,
yeah,
but there has to be like something, because like the idea of doing one set sober, one set drunk is not a bad idea, but then repeating the set, I think that's retard. Like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
really.
And I tell you, it's mainly it's I think I like the idea itself. The problem is the implementation of the comedians themselves. You know that
Mm-hmm.
they were still telling the same jokes that they memorized. They were
Hmm.
not improvising the drunk with and if they would show, they would say, "I am drunk." Yeah, yeah, we get it. We get you're drunk. You know, like
Sometimes
do
you don't need to say the obvious things.
yeah,
Like
exactly,
jokes also work
exactly.
like that.
Oh man,
We had
today I
this.
yeah, yeah,
Oh, I
Omar.
was gonna like we had this show where like it was organized by one guy, where you would if the audience heard the joke before you take a shot.
Oh,
And the thing
oh,
is, which for me this was the funniest part. He goes, the host tells us, by the way, if you don't want to take the shot, don't take it. I'm like, you're beating, like you're fucking up the
That's the
whole
point.
idea of the thingy. Like,
But that is the point. What the fuck?
yeah. And
This
I
is the
remember,
point of the show.
and you know
like,
what I remember?
mhm.
I performed on that show, and I just took the shots. I didn't care.
For me, I was like the opposite. I didn't want to get drunk on stage, so I like wrote a whole new 5 minutes, and
Yeah.
then yeah, and then the guy, I didn't end up.
No, 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 you don't get it. I had like new material and old, and I was taking it in both cases. I was like, I don't care. I'm just here
Mm,
to take the shots and leave.
mm,
I'm
And
here
he
for the
was,
free shots.
well, to be honest, it was Jim and Jack's free shots. Do you know what that means? That means it's water with some color and
Hmm.
maybe a drop of what do you call dishwashing or
Dish
toilet
soap.
yeah, dish
Uh,
soap. That's basically it.
a drop of
You know?
dishwashing.
Yeah. Oh man, fucking
Yeah.
hell. What the fuck was what I wanted to tell you,
Yeah, you
Kirill? I
wanted to say
forgot.
something.
Yeah, I forgot. Never mind. It's probably not important.
Here's the
The
thing.
I like
You ever
Yeah.
hear this thingy that people say, if I can't remember it, it means not important?
Yeah.
I also this bullshit. Like,
100%. And I just said it.
yeah, sorry.
Yeah. No. You see,
Ah,
I just said like, so it's not important, and it's
ah,
bullshit. It's
if
because
I
I don't
if I
want to embarrass.
can't remember it, it's not important. Said a young father who came to the kindergarten to pick up his kid, but he doesn't remember the kid's face. Like,
like
You
yeah.
know?
before having sex,
Oh,
there's something I should do. Ah,
I
it's not
heard I
important.
heard like I heard a joke. It was in a Russian rap battle, but the joke was so funny. There was like when they are insulting each other during the rap battle, and one guy was like, "You look at everybody so suspiciously as if you're a sperm donor at the children's playground," or something like that. That was such a funny analogy. Like really. So-
My
very
kid, my
descriptive.
kid, my kid, my kid, my kid. One thing, yeah. Today I was writing with one comedian,
Mhm.
and like she had a joke, which is like a very funny joke, and for some reason, she was very adamant, very about like she does the punchline, and then the next line is she explains the punchline,
Mm.
and I was like, why are you explaining it? You don't need like it's already like this is it. It's no, let them figure it out. Why are you treating them like idiots? And
Mhm.
for her, she wasn't like she was like, no, I have to say this. I was like, no, you don't.
There's this thing though. A lot of comedians use that. It's like when you reach the punchline and you have like two words left, but you
Yeah,
pause and people realize what's about to
yeah,
happen
the build
and
up.
they start laughing,
Mm.
and then you still continue. Like you still say that,
Yeah.
Uh, it's kind of weird because it works very often, but it's like, but I think that when you like end your sentence, when you finish the punchline, yeah, people will clap and laugh just because they're like, you see, I'm smart, I figured out what he was about to say, or
Yeah.
something like
Mhm.
that, yeah.
Yeah,
But
well, you can play on the ideas that, like, I remember me and you, Kirill, we were like always having this banter between us of that, uh, like, that they expect the punchline, and for example, yeah, I know they want because I want them to like
Mhm.
reach it with me, you know, I want them to
mhm.
finish with me, for a lack of better words, to get it like the point, together. And I remember we used to like me and you, we used to like butt head over this.
Mhm. Mhm.
Like what I say, like yeah, it's good to like make them this, but it's also good to like yeah, you do it for example once, twice, and then not do it, and then do it, and then not, like it
Break
should
you the
not
rhythm.
be like the whole thing. Yeah.
Mhm.
It should be like
Or you can just completely do 180 and finish with something else, like
Mhm.
hey man,
no.
no dirty jokes there. I'm a clean person. Tabis, Pants, come here. Pants doesn't care. Pants really doesn't care. I swear to God, she's like, see?
Oh, that's a cute
She's
cat.
like, yeah,
He
man.
looks depressed. Like he looks like I know I live in Jordan. Like this.
Dude, he has to listen to Abed's jokes every day. Like, come
She
on.
has to listen to Abed's jokes. Yeah?
She
Please.
Pants is a feminine, apparently.
You know what she like, I don't know, are cats smart or are they fucking smart? She figured out that one of my windows,
Hmm.
first she would never like get on the window, like outside the window. There's a small, like, how do you call it, like a step, you could say.
Hmm.
she never realized that that's where I am, you know? And a few like weeks ago, she thought she was like, "Oh, the light in that room is turned off. That
Uh-huh.
means, and the light is in this one on. These two are connected. I'm gonna find him here."
Mm.
And she did, and it freaked me out when she was like looking at me, going, "Hello, where's my food?" I was like, "Bitch, it's 9 a.m. in the morning. What the fuck is wrong with you?"
No,
Just
I
like
mean,
this, you know?
you know how they say, like, you don't own the cat owns you.
Yeah,
So
man. Holy, you tell me, man. You fucking
that
tell me.
that's
Oh,
the truth. You know what I like since we started talking about pets, uh, some of the like we've had it a couple of times in at our shows. People would come with dogs to the shows.
yeah,
And
yeah.
dude, I mean, when you have like a dog during the show, this just makes the show like 100 times better instantly. Especially when the dog and some dogs, they just their reactions were like so great. Like one comedian told a joke and it wasn't funny. The dog started barking right after the punchline. It's like the dog disapproves.
The comedian's like, please, guys, give me a reaction. And the dog starts barking.
Woof, woof, woof,
You wanna know
motherfucker.
something? I performed in Russian one time at a bar, like just no name bar. This bar had a cat on a leash. It's like the bar's cat. Worst thing ever. Because the comedian would be performing and then the cat would like stretch. And people are looking at the cat stretching and like, oh, cute. And the comedian's like, I'm in the middle of my fucking punchline. You fucking whore or whatever.
Yeah. That's my equivalent of that was when we performed in Kalyanaya in a
Oh,
shisha places,
worse.
and in the middle of you performing in a shisha place, the Kalyan chick would come in front of you
Hmm.
and just stand there.
Dude, I hate that. Like, you know, I mean, like, we would still have, and everywhere you would have these things where you have a new comedian and they would bring their friends to support them, and them and their friends would just fuck off right after the comedian performs. You know,
Oh man.
I hate those fucking things because
And
we've had it here several times when I would get on stage, you know, like I'm about to introduce the next comedian, and these fucking cunts, they're just all leaving. I remember like once they just did it so perfectly, you know, because I was like cracking a joke about how I have like Muslim friends, you know, and stuff
yeah,
like that, and they started walking away, and Dash was like, "Please don't leave," you know how she is, you know. And
yeah,
I looked at them, and I was like, "There go all the Jews."
yeah.
So it was just, I was like, "Yeah, thank you, motherfuckers, that you decided to leave at this point. At least I could get some laughter out of
Mm.
it."
Yeah, man.
But
Oh,
this is irritating. Like, really, this is. I mean, like, I get if you don't want to stay there, but can you please do that like quietly and not just like it's like a fucking National Guard is just standing
Real,
and going try to California to try to put out the fires.
real. You
Like,
remember Jim and Jax? How many times when like I would get on stage, and the moment I get on stage, five people would leave from before. I was like, "What the fuck for the Arab? You know,
Mm-mm.
what the fuck is this?" To the point I remember because this happened to me like several times, and to the point where I thought, "Oh, they're leaving because of me," you know, and it really like it depressed me. I was like, "Fucking hell!" Even like if you ask Adrian Nero, the Canadian comedian, and I use the term loosely, but no, I'm joking. But
You mean Canadian?
uh, sure. And it
come
happened
on,
that
I mean, what is he gonna do? If he hears that, he'll probably apologize to you for that he made you crack jokes about him.
Man, you
yeah.
think Nero is gonna hear something that's not his own voice? Okay.
I know too. I know. I know. Well, you do have two such people in Moscow right now.
True.
Well, I mean, in the stand-up community, and ironically, both of them are connected directly to the French language. So,
Oh wait, you are aware of the second one. Oh my God, I thought
I
you.
am aware, dude. My eyes are everywhere.
God
Yeah,
damn,
man.
man. Thank you.
Hey, man.
Probably sticking
Listen,
out of someone's butt.
Please
But
be
still.
Team
listen,
Egypt, not Team
listen,
France.
listen. Kirill has a Georgian citizenship, but he's still Russian. He, he has eyes everywhere. Don't worry
Mm.
about it. He knows everything. Yeah, and like Nero, he was like, Abed, what the fuck, man? You get on stage, people leave. And it's like, I was like, yeah, what the fuck is wrong with this? And after a while, I was like, no, they're just dicks. That's all. The previous comedian before you, and this is why like I was like, okay, where am I on the list? Who's this? For example, like whoever it is, like how many people did they bring?
Mm.
You know, how many people did they bring? Okay, put me before them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's how I figured out how to do it. But there was once when it's funny, like it was also at Jim and Jack's. We had like a packed room, about like three people, and what happened is, yeah, the one comedian like they finished their set, and I get on stage, and people are leaving, and the next comedian was Valentin Sidorov, you know, and I was like, "There's no fucking way you guys are leaving."
Mm-hmm.
And it was like a group, like five or six people. I was like, no, 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 you're, and they were like, oh, we have something to do. I was like, I don't care if your kids are at home and they just lit the whole house on fire and Chucky is behind him with a knife. You're not leaving this this room.
Mm.
And they
No,
were like,
it's
yeah.
no.
So,
I mean,
So,
like, I really hate this kind of stuff when like the audience just leaves for whatever reason. Like,
yeah,
I don't care. I don't care what reason it is, but it's just like because I've never had the situation when people would stand up and leave like five or six of them because like they didn't like the show or something like that. It would always be something else.
you haven't
So.
performed with Omar.
no man, it's only two people. Two
Yeah, two
people.
people.
That's my record. Actually,
Yeah.
like recently, our friend Adrian, she was on the first episode of 2025. She did the like what like a awards for the comedians award.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and she goes, if you were there, I would have gave you like most walkouts of 2024. Two people.
Funny. That's funny.
you know what would be cool? You know what would be cool? Like to make it into a gimmick. Like you need to do that as if like when people start like walking out, you need to have a walkout music for them.
Mm.
Oh,
like
and then
just switch the music and that's it.
What
and
what
then
what
and
song
then
should I play? That would be.
Highway to
what
Hell. No, no, no.
what song should it be? Fucking hell, man. What song should it be? Uh,
Fuck
Toxic?
yeah.
No. What? Omar, you're the guy with the songs, with the rap songs.
I don't. Yeah, rap songs. I probably like
Yeah.
no Vaseline. Probably I don't know.
I know the type of music that I would like turn on if somebody would come back. Like there is this band, Theory of a Dead Man, and they have the song that starts with "The bitch came back the very next day." Oh, the bitch came back. Thought she wasn't gonna, but the bitch came back. She couldn't stay away. Just like
Yeah.
it's
And
for the
I
returning audience.
and I bet a few people who don't speak English are like, "Oh, where's the beach? Where can I go to a beach? I mean, I need to get a swim." Oh, hell, man. Okay, no. Oh,
Anyways,
that made me laugh.
I think we
Yeah,
should be wrapping up now because I don't know
yeah,
how long
okay.
we've been recording. But anyways,
An
thank you
hour and four.
people for
Thank you,
listening.
thank you,
Hey.
Kirill, for coming
Thank
to
you,
the
Kirill.
second episode of 2025.
and not
Well,
the last.
my pleasure. I mean, like, if you want me to join, like, anytime in the future, please, yeah, whenever I'm free.
Motherfucker, you're so busy.
Well, I mean, yeah, I have to work every fucking day. I have to write some new shit before the Sunday's show. I mean,
So
like,
we go.
I'm definitely gonna joke about the protest. There is no way I'm avoiding that.
I also have to write. Yeah, I have to write for tomorrow.
Me
So
too,
yeah.
man.
Anyways, people, thank you for listening. Please like, subscribe, follow, whatever. All the links are in the description for Instagram, Telegram, X,
All the other grams,
all the
whatever.
other grams.
all the other banned social media in Russia.
Yeah,
Well, yeah.
exactly. Because that's what we're targeting, Siberia. That's what we're targeting.
Siberia, Alaska.
I just got
Yeah.
back from Siberia, so yeah. Anyways, people, bye. See you later.
See you later. Bye bye.